Hi, my name is Kristen Herring, and this is the response video in response to the Chapter 8 and 9 videos that you guys posted this week. Just to let you know, I am at church camp, and so there may be students walking in and out past me, and that's why I look so hot. It's the only place I have services out here. So Chapter 8 and 9 in our Law and Ethics book provides us a detailed summary of the laws related to English language learners and students with disabilities. I was aware of several of the laws through the past experiences that I've had and through education classes, but there were a few that I had not been familiarized with and learned about through the reading. And so I wanted to mention those as I go through, and some things that I was reminded of or learned from you. Amanda, you reminded us that there are times when we treat students differently, and that's okay if the difference benefits the education of the student. For example, we may have to provide extra assistance for a student that is an English language learner. Prior to reading this, I wasn't aware that districts are responsible for the child find, or finding the students that have needs, special needs, and if they're not being provided for them through the educational process they're going through, that's the district's responsibility, even if they are attending a private school. Billy, the goal of SPED, you said, over the last 40 years is that all students have free and appropriate education, and that occurs in a least restrictive environment. Of course, these are the buzzwords that we hear a lot, but I appreciated the reminder of how long this has been in place. I vaguely remember when special ed students were all separated from the general population in my elementary school, and I never saw them in middle school and high school, even though this law was in place during that time. But it caused a lot of us to not know how to react to those students when we were out of school. And, if we just saw them on campus, we didn't know how to interact with them to help them get to the places that they needed to be. And so I'm very thankful that today's students are learning to interact together with them, because it removes fear and judgment that people have as they age out and are with them in society or in the workplace. So it just helps the overall population if we all interact together and learn how to help each other. Ladina, you pointed out that laws are in place to protect students who cannot protect themselves, and students begin to feel inclusive and receive an education in safe environments regardless of what they're dealing with, such as physical disabilities or other disabilities that they have, or just human experiences that any one of us could have. Students shouldn't be treated differently just because they have had some different human experience. Amanda, it all boils down to this. Educational leaders are to ensure social justice and equal protection for all students, providing equal opportunities for everyone to learn and achieve. Students may be treated differently through differentiated instruction. In order to service them, we have to do that so that we can meet their learning needs. Indonesia, I've noticed that our inclusion students are also the same as you described, and tend to be with the same regular education students all day. It would be nice if even if in elective classes, all students, including our advanced placement students, were being educated with our special education students. This issue is caused due to scheduling conflicts in my district, but as an educational leader, I think it's appropriate that we think outside the box and try to be more inclusive, because it will benefit society as a whole. Anthony, you stated inequalities are justified as long as they benefit the least advantaged, and I appreciate being reminded of that. After listening to your videos, I thought about the impact of making sure teachers are a part of the IEP and 504 meetings, Gary, so that parents know everyone has a vested interest in their child's education. Having the right people in the right seat will always make a big difference in the success of schools and the achievement of our students. I know that schools have 504 and SPED coordinators when they do. They're very well versed on the laws, but even more, it's important that they have integrity and a love for students, and that will be a huge asset to me as an educational leader. It's also important that educators have a clear understanding of these laws, not just those that are special education certified, but all teachers, because they're going to be in all of our classrooms. That will help them to have provide the necessary training or necessary services for all of their students. So it's important that I am consistently training our teachers to make sure that they know what they need to be doing in class to help our students achieve. Working together and having everyone in the right seat, I do believe, will be the key. So when it's time to interview our teachers and special education coordinators, 504 coordinators, I just want to be aware of the needs of these students and what the teachers and adults can bring to the situations.